Hello everybody, it's Haj here. This is a quick follow-up on my last video where I was debating if I should keep the Z8 or the D850 as a secondary camera. And I thank you for your input in the matter. I really appreciate them. The thing is, when I photograph wildlife and of course when the conditions permit, I always bring along two cameras with me. One camera with a long telephoto lens of at least 400 millimeter, and the other camera with shorter focal length, often in the 70 to 200 millimeters or the 300 millimeters 2.8 prime. In that last video, I mentioned that I put on sale my D850 and the Z8 because I was undecided which one to keep. The Z8 received lots of attention, but the D850 did not. And in the middle of last week, someone bought the Z8. So I'm now then left with my D850. Which is actually a very good camera, even in this year, 2024. But of course, I'm also happy for the buyer. The Z8 is also a great camera. After all, it's not a cheap entry-level camera. It is a 4,000 euro camera from a well-known camera brand. And it should deliver what its owner expects. On the other hand, I'm also happy to keep the D850 for several reasons. First of all, there is just something I just loved in this camera. I could not really explain it, but it's there. Also, it shares then the same battery I use in the Z9. My main concern with the Z8 was the fact that the battery grip does not support the big NL18 battery. In addition, I only have one Z-mount lens, this 180 to 600 millimeter lens. My F-mount lenses, on the other hand, cover the range from fisheye to 600 millimeter. And I will never be able to afford to cover such a focal range with Z-mount lenses. In addition, some of the lenses I have do not even have a Z-mount equivalent yet, like this 8 to 15 millimeters fisheye lens, and also this tilt shift lens, for example. This 105 millimeters macro, on the other hand, I would not even swap it to its Z-mount equivalent because this lens actually supports teleconverter while the Z-mount equivalent does not. With the help of teleconverters, this 105 millimeters macro lens can be transformed into up to 210 millimeters and 2 times magnification. Also, even though some of the F-mount lenses appear to be sharper on the Z camera, I assume because of the way the focusing system works in the mirrorless cameras, and there is no need for focus fine-tuning. A lens like this 135 f2 DC lens, which is actually my favorite portrait lens, is still best on the D850 because the autofocus of this lens is driven by the focus motors in the camera body. And the Z cameras do not have a focusing motor. Therefore, this lens becomes a manual focus only lens on Z camera, but has full functional autofocus on the D850. If you want to know which F-mount lenses retain autofocus while adapted on Z cameras, then have a look at this video. I made specifically that video to answer that question. And finally, I'm glad that I managed to get quite some money as well back into my pocket. Unfortunately, it did not take me long to spend it again. The thing is, I found a dream lens at an unbeatable price, and I just could not help myself. The new lens will arrive this week, I think, so stay tuned. If you are interested, I will very likely gonna make a couple of video on that new lens. But do not get me wrong though, the reason why the D850 is still the perfect secondary camera for me is because I have the Z9, which covers then the things that Nikon DSLR cameras are very poor at, such as videography. If I did not have the Z9, I would have maybe kept the Z8. But I say it again, the D850 is still a great camera, even now in 2024. Sometimes we are just blinded by new gears and do not see how great those older cameras and lenses are. After all, cameras and lenses are just tools, right? It's the photographer that makes the photo. Or is it actually? I mean, nowadays, in this changing world where the virtual becomes the reality, where friends are mainly online and computer could generate almost anything. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you again for your input in my last video. Happy shooting, and until next time then. Bye.